Okay, so how many of us have those things that we just want to overindulge in, like maybe food or alcohol or sex, anything? Okay, so what I'm going to talk about is this quote that's by Orson Welles, and he says, "Gluttony is not a secret vice," meaning that gluttony is not a secret. When you overindulge in something, everyone's going to do it. And I have to agree with it. And I'm going to go over a few different situations where you can overindulge and people will notice. Okay, so the first one I'm going to go over is alcohol, okay? I'm sure we've all had a couple drinks in our life, and you all know someone that has overindulged in drinking, and you can tell they become an alcoholic if they have too many drinks, if they drink every day of the weekend, or every day of the week, if they're that bad, they become an alcoholic and they'll notice. Another one I'm going to talk about is money. Let's say, like in the future, you're married, your husband works all the time, and he just wants more money, more money. Your family, you are going to notice because they're not home, they're not giving you attention, they're not providing you with what you need besides for financial reasons. My final example I'm going to give is with food. If you overindulge in eating food, that's the most obvious way people are going to notice. If you eat candy all the time, if you eat pizza all the time, even if you just eat healthy food all the time, way too much, people are going to notice you're going to get fat. That's just the way it is. Alright, so I've gone over a few different situations of how gluttony is not a secret vice, and I'd have to agree with Orson Welles when he says that. Thank you.
All right, Lindsey, the rhetorical question survey thing, it gets to be used a lot with these impromptu speeches. I think I told people that that's kind of one of the things that happens because you're looking for something that you can come up with at the spur of the moment, and that sort of question of the audience thing always occurs to people. But you clearly state what the topic is and what your point of view on it is. I thought you made an interesting application of it, and you've got a good preview of what you're going to talk about. It's basically going to be organized around those particular vices that you're discussing. So there's a good structure, you've got a good idea here. You need a little bit more follow-through with each of your examples, though. I thought you had good examples. You're talking about alcoholism, but you said, people are going to notice that you're an alcoholic. Well, how are they going to notice? How do people know when you've overindulged, give us an example of one of your friends. Maybe that's not somebody who became an alcoholic, but it's pretty clear that they had too much to drink. Is it the dry vomit on their shirt? Is it the fact that, they've got rings under their eyes? Is it that they woke up on the floor of the bathroom? Tell us a story about the last person that you knew who had overindulged when they came to work, and they had a terrible, nasty headache, and how you gave them a hard time about it because you knew they were in that situation, slamming down orders or making a bunch of noise just to bug them. I mean, tell some stories and make it interesting. You've got the idea, you've got the right idea, but there's not much follow through on it. And the same thing is true with the other points. I said it the other day. Everybody always thinks of better ideas after they've sat down, and they think, oh, I should have said that, I should have said that. And this is going to be one where I think you're going to fit in that category. On the presentation, I thought you were rushing a little bit, but you project pretty well. You've got a nice natural expression when you're talking to the audience. Your gestures, I think, are pretty solid. Your eye contact, you do look up at us, but I think you need to engage the audience a little bit more, acknowledging individuals and not just the whole group. There is some nervousness in your feet. You've got some ankle crossing and that sort of thing that's going on, so you don't always look confident and poised, although I think with your face and your voice you're doing a good job on those things. The others are sending that inconsistent or incongruent message. And at the end you had an okay summary. And of course, do you know who Orson Welles is?
No.
Orson Welles is a famous actor. Of course, he made Citizen Kane. He was a very handsome young man when he was a young man, but as he got older and older, he was a noted, what would you call it? There's a term for it. A connoisseur. And he was large when he died. You know, he was a very famous and influential director, and so that's one of the reasons that the quote, you know, who you're going to hide it from. If you eat too much, everybody's going to know. But I like the idea that you came up with.